XK150 fixed head coupe. Owners, gentlemen, start your engines. We are looking at BAS offering for the fixed head coupe. One of our favorite cars. As some of you guys will know, we have a red interior show car, 1958, that is superbly trimmed, I might add. And you will see that at the shows. We're looking at the XK150 kit laid out. We're going to have a quick overview here, talk about things in general, and then I'm going to look at everything individually and go through. And during the video, with this video, I hope to demonstrate the content and the significant differences between our kit and any of our competitors worldwide. And I mean significant, especially in the XK150s. So let's start with the basics. Let's talk about materials. All our materials are imported from the UK, of course, original materials, exactly as original spec, vinyl, leathers, Wilson wool carpet, hard duras, etc. There is a worldly difference in quality of materials. For instance, the leather we use pay twice as much, 3 times as much as some of our competitors, and then we have to air freight from London Heathrow. It's very high quality. High quality leather means high quality results, as you can see. But the thing I like most about it is that they're long-lasting results. It's pretty obvious that you get what you pay for with most things in life, and it'll be the case with leather, and it's certainly the case with this interior kit that I'm going to show you. We're not the cheapest out there. I say that with pride. Again, I repeat, you get what you pay for with most things, and why should upholstery be any exception? So we're looking at some things here that are part of the kit, and we're also looking at some things that are part of labor services we offer. We offer labor services at flat rates, at guaranteed rates, so you know where you're at as far as cost goes, and no unknowns. And then we're looking at the kit itself. So on the 150s, typically the services we offer, of course, is the retrimming of the seats, powder coating of the seat frame, replacement and repair of any wood as necessary. We cover the armrest for the early cars here. Our kit includes brand new armrests for the late cars, and I'm going to get Dana to get those for me now. Ask Paulo to show you, but on the floor over there, XK150 fixed head, same as E-type. Armrests. Okay? Paulo will help you. And we'll show you those. Now, the other things that gets into this course are the dash components, as you can see here. That's some of them. And there's, of course, the pads there. The center console itself, we supply this in the kit and the fiberboard, but the assembly of it, of course, is extra. And again, that's a labor that we offer. And then, of course, the rear seats. There's a little one here. And the other cushion is being worked on, and by the time we finish the video, it'll be included. So again, we'll show this labor and what's included. Materials are very important. Next most important thing, content. Our kit includes every single piece of soft material for the entire cockpit of the car, with no exceptions. Every single scrap of material. Not only is it supplied down to the smallest little pieces, it comes in labeled bags telling you exactly what's within the bag, telling you and or your restorer. Now that's significant, especially when you get a bunch of vinyls like this and you wonder what's in it. That's all going to be in a bag labeled. It isn't currently. Same with these moquette pieces. Okay, well there's an example. There's the bag. Okay, various moquette covers, fuel filler cover, rear door access upper cover, rear door access lower cover, 3 inches by 40, and rear step covers, 6 by 20. Now, that helps you understand what these pieces are for. Okay, very significant. A fuel petrol lid upper surround, you recognize that from the car if you know your car, and lower surrounds, and again, label like that. So imagine that will be for every single piece. There are pre-cut pieces, panels, even pieces of piping. Now this is significant, especially for cars that don't have original interiors, and most of them don't. Through the years they've been messed with. This helps guide your guy to get, and you and your guy to get perfect results. So you're going to find things like this piece of piping is used at the front leading edge of the dash, often missing in many cars, right? So if you don't have it in your car, you won't know what it's for, but we'll tell you because it's labeled. Okay, so that does it for a general overview, and we're now going to look at everything individually. We'll start with the carpet set and Harduras, so we can clear some of the bench, and then we'll start to look at panels and other things as we go. Okay, gentlemen, we'll start with the carpet set for the 150. All Jaguar carpet, classic XK carpet, was Wilton wool carpet, rubber backed. It's made at BAS UK in my hometown in Wales, and that's what's used. It's available in 17 different colors, all the factory original colors. Very high quality carpet, exactly reproduction. It's actually a better standard, better quality carpet than was used at Jaguar, more thread count. The carpet set includes every piece of carpet you need for the entire car. Every piece that was supplied by Jaguar is supplied in our kit. This is an early car with Hardura for the heel pads at the foot there. Again, this goes for the bell housing. Gearbox carpet with the leather shift boot sewn in, leather bound as original. Leather heel pads there, and of course beautifully bound on a purpose-made binding machine so that its corners are tight. And again, this binding work and sewing work is to a much higher standard than Jaguar ever produced at the factory. I say it all the time, if you've got original stuff, you'll see it yourself. Compare it to ours. Restored cars these days are being restored to a much higher standard than they were ever built. So upholstery is also the same. Anyway, that covers the carpet. We'll just switch over now to Hardura. Hardura is a rubberized felt, available color matched as original. There's a piece here. This is for the pass-through hatch into the trunk, as you know. Hardura on the trunk side, moquette on the other, sewn together, ready to install onto the piece of wood. That Hardura is included, as is all the other pieces of Hardura, down to the smallest pieces, that being the Hardura around the dip switch. And then we have the trunk side Harduras. There's a couple of variations of shapes and so on. Then we have the rear bulkhead Hardura, and of course the trunk mat with and without telescopic stay. We do not include the rubbers here, but they are available from lots of suppliers. And again, beautifully bound, and every piece supplied. And that's the Harduras. We'll clear the table and carry on with some other stuff. Okay, as Mike puts away the pieces that we just covered, I forgot to mention that the underfelt set is also included. There's very little underfelt used in XKs 120 through 150. People wrongly think that the floors were underfelted. They weren't. It's very important not to use underfelt under the seats. So we supply every piece that was original by the factory. We also include the hardware for this carpet set, the fix-in panels for the clips for the door panels, for instance, and some other panels, and the screw set for screwing the panels, number 4 stainless screws. I mentioned these labels, and I actually found the label for this package here. Underdash plywood triangle covers. You'll see them on your car. Transmission access plate 8x8. Seat runner plinths 13 by 1.5 inches. Panel below dash center. Again, that's often missing. Windshield surround cover, and the dash vinyls. Again, vent boomerang shaped and so on. Now we've used the vents. The boomerang vents are only used on some cars, and in this particular case the vents are chrome. So some are steel. If they're steel, we provide the vinyls. If you have chrome, you chuck the vinyl away. Does that make sense? Okay, so we have covered the carpet, we covered the Hardura. I've gone back a little backwards here, but it doesn't matter which order things are in as long as we cover it all. So next thing we're going to talk about the seats. Okay, these seats were sent to us for shop labor. Again, this is definitely not something that a home restorer should attempt. This is extremely difficult to do. Do not think that you're going to somehow be able to do this. It's a trade. You wouldn't dream of building your own engine or painting the car. Maybe you would. But really, do not try this at home, kids. Okay, you don't want to spend all this money on our beautiful upholstery and then ruin it. I've never seen a home restorer do it well, put it that way. Or worse than that, they end up doing one side okay-ish, maybe, not really, and then the other side slightly better, and then you end up with a mismatch. You can also go to your local upholstery shop. In smaller towns, you've got Joe's Upholstery. He's been there since 1972. He does a bit of boat. He does a bit of whatever, furniture. He's not your guy. If you go to a local upholstery shop, make sure they have direct experience with XK seats. Ask them to show you pictures of finished work. Show them photographs of our finished work and ask them, do they think they can achieve exactly the same results? Most guys will just wisely back out of the deal. So the advantage of sending the seats to us is the guaranteed results you see. You're looking at the difference between what a local guy would charge and what we charge. We're going to charge something more, but as a percentage, it's a tiny bit compared to the whole value of the car, what you've already spent, what you're going to spend. So to me, it's a no-brainer that you should have us do the seats. But again, your choice. I do want to point out that if an upholstery shop of your choice does do them, we're more than happy to share as much knowledge as we can. We can't reach down the phone and do it. There's no instructions, no videos. But if they have questions, we're happy to answer. We want it to turn out as good as it possibly can. I think that makes sense there. So we're looking at a couple of things here that in the kit normally you would get the foams. The foams included. So we've of course used them in the seats. But if you're getting the seats, done by somebody else, we would supply these foams. Polyfoam for the shoulder roll, okay, as you can see, wedge for the center, and then molded urethane foam. This is our molded foam, fits the cushions perfectly, as you can see with the results here. And these foams here, we get these results, okay. A lot of trimmers will have trouble with that. They don't seem to understand how to use the foams. The original padding inside is antiquated. Do not use the old padding. You cannot get these results using the old padding. So this is improved product, modern materials that give much better results and give factory original look, as you can see. Okay, we'll look at the seats closer, but I just thought we'd cover that while Mike creates some room for us down here, which it looks like he has done. So I'll pause there and we'll lay out the panels a little better to see, and we'll continue on. Oh, no. I will show you something else before we go. Okay, gentlemen, don't let this happen to you. This breaks my heart every time it happens, and through 24 years it's happened too many times as far as I'm concerned. Totally unnecessary. We ask you a question, the sales guy, Bart, as you know. Bart will ask, hey, do you have curved or pointed outer flutes? And if you have non-original covers, there's a measurement that we give you for the tubular frame and across the top, the width. And we send you a diagram. And there's quite a difference, 1.5 inches difference between the two different types. The outer flute here, the outside one here, at that point at the top, is different, curved versus pointed. Really hard to spot, it's subtle. But the measurements are not subtle. We ask the question, we ask you to decide and tell us what you have, along with other spec questions for the under dash panels, kick panels, and early, late. There's lots of questions for the 150s. If you call the seat covers wrong, the mistake, unfortunately, is going to cost you money, because we have no other choice than to make what we're asked to make. And if you've called it wrong, now we're more than happy to work with you to get it right. There's no reason to get it wrong. We can tell you where you need to measure. We can double check. You can send us photographs. But occasionally a guy calls it wrong, and this guy did this. So this is pointed. The order came in as pointed. Sales guy was told it was pointed. You have the email with the guy telling us it's pointed. and it's wrong. And so unfortunately, these are being shipped back. So he knows what he paid for and why we had to recut them and do them again. Again, totally avoidable. Don't let this happen to you. But it is something, again, that we work with you, but we can't. You know, if someone calls it wrong and asks for no assistance, it's really hard to deal with that. So don't do it. It's avoidable. Okay, so that covers the seats until we get a closer look at them and we do the panels. Okay. So we'll switch into the panels. It's a bit of a mess with all the plastic, but this kit was actually packed, ready to ship, and the guys didn't know I wanted to film it, so we pulled it all out. So, as I said, one of the most significant things of all our Jaguar interior kits is the inclusions, and every single panel in this kit is supplied as a brand new fully upholstered panel. There is no reusing of the old panels. Okay, we have the even the difficult to make rear quarter panels, these big things that you'll recognize from the car. Some of the easier panels, flat panels. Again, this is all made with a high quality automotive board, much water resistant board, much better than the original, with the bends going in the right directions. You can see how the guys work for the trimming. Again, look at your originals, but they're not as pretty as this. Our panels look as good on the back as they do on the front. And we're looking at some of the panels here. We're going to look at them in closer detail and create some more room. But if it's a panel, like the rear quarters. Now this vinyl here is not glued over. It's left as a flap, and that gets glued on the body of the car, and it goes. Once that's done, the tension gets pulled and the creases come out. Okay, and then you can see the fiberboard, how it's riveted, has aluminum in the front. Beautiful, beautiful work of art. Okay, rear parcel shelf, early and late. This is an early style with the aluminum. Again, tell us what you got. We got all the patterns, and you'll get the right thing. Under dash panel, early and late. This is an earlier style, late style. These are flapped over for left-hand drive, right-hand drive. Kick panels, again, early and late. These are early, they're square type. And there's a flap on the bottom of them. As you can see, there's a vinyl flap. I'm going to go around to the other side to show that. Door panels. And again, all CNC cut on this beautiful, expensive CAD-controlled cutting machine. We do not punch the holes for obvious reasons. Like all gets done when you have it on the car. With or without ashtray, let us know. Most people these days don't put them in. The small panels at the bottom of the pillars, early and late, aluminum, they're included. The kit itself, if labor wasn't being offered, in this particular case, we're taking care of it for the dash. All these pieces would be sent, sewn, pre-cut, cover for, I believe that's for the overdrive switch if it's required. This vinyl cover would be oversized, leather cover oversized. Of course, our guys have put these on because the customers wisely chose to have us do the dash. Another difficult thing. This grey center panel. Quick 101 on this. Some early cars came with aluminum. Actually, yeah, I think it was a polka dot, not a polka dot, but a dash kind of pattern. So some cars came with aluminum. I think actually some later cars. Most cars come with grey leather, grey antique leather, and we have exactly the right stuff again from the UK. Hard to get, and we supply a rectangle ready to cover. And it was an option from Jaguar. I've seen it with my own eyes on the price list, available as color matched if you paid an extra, 2 shillings and threepence. You could get this color matched, but most cars came with grey. And the reason for that is they could mass produce this ahead in production and start to put the clocks and dials together. Okay. Piping here for around the doors, again sewn piping as original. And we've got these filler panels, rear quarter filler panels. These got the clips already in them for a reason. Again, if it was just a kit, this sewn cover would be sent, and in this particular case, the customer has sent us the pieces. the panels. Again, these go inside, glued on the inside of the door panel, and this is the panel at the front of the glove pocket on the door. Again, it's a brand new panel with brand new steel and wood as original. There's another one that has stainless steel clips. Then we have what we call the ammo boxes. This has foam for packing, but you can see that these are supplied as brand new, fully upholstered, difficult to make, and often not included with our competitors' kits. Then we have sewn covers like this moquette for the differential. We even include the foam for the differential, and the sewn covers for what we call the mini wheel arches behind the seats. And that would come in a bag labeled, and that's part of our panel kit. Coverings for the general car itself. Another piece from the dash. Again, we'll look at that as part of the dash offering. Now, there's the panel that goes in the trunk either side. This goes at the hinge. We call it a hinge cover panel. There's a narrow one like this, and there's a wider one. I think it's 3.5 versus 4.5. But again, spec question we ask, and we have all variations. I started to talk about the flap on the bottom here. I'm going to just show you. Flapped at the front and at the bottom, and that's so that when it goes on the car, this gets glued onto the floor and up onto the firewall, so you don't see a gap in between. A detail often missed by some competitors. I've seen it. Now, the most significant part of our kit, absolutely without doubt, is the inclusion of brand new door side casings. No reusing of the old ones. These are brand new aluminum panels, fully trimmed, ready to go. Discard your old and put in the new. It is very difficult, if not impossible, and not recommended to use old ones. They're bent, distorted, damaged, and often missing through the years. So it's a great solution. They come ready to go, and now it's a matter of assembly on the car as opposed to upholstery work. So it's what we call our perfectionist panel kit. And here's the upper door capping here. And so the two pieces at either side of the door, front and rear side casings and door cappings, so that would be 6 pieces are included with our perfectionist panel kit. And I can't remember the last time someone hasn't taken that option. Strongly recommended. Okay, so we're blasting through the panels here. I think we've covered the panels. We'll clear those, clear the foams, and we'll start to dig in a little deeper with the other stuff. Stay tuned, gentlemen. Hang in there, gentlemen, we're almost there. It's towards the end of the day here, and at this point I'm racing towards the end because I have a big fat glass of wine with my name on it when I get home. So here we go. Now start to talk faster. Okay, so we'll look at this 150 here. We'll look at the headliner, sewn headliner with all the listings sewn in. There's also pieces of cloth included to cover things within as needed. Anything that's required in wool cloth. Again, beautiful wool cloth, very high quality, made for us in Scotland, and it's beautiful. We can send this out, we can crush it, doesn't matter. There's no putting wrinkles in wool cloth. That's the beauty of it. When it gets pulled under in tension, it turns out looking like this. This is the interior light cover panel for the early cars. It has the curve in it as original. We have to make the curve in it, otherwise it'll crease when we send it flat. So that's the headliner kit. We're now switched to the armrests. The armrest in our kit, another real nice feature, because when we make these are the armrests for the 150s, same as the XK, same as the E-Type. This is a stainless steel finisher. You pull it off, and it just got the black plastic on. I've got this bag unpacked, but you can see the black, brand new steel molded foam, urethane foam. So you get brand new ones, fully upholstered. On most models for XK 150, it'll be this style, and we covered it in the red vinyl, and it comes back to you ready to put on the car. We even supply the screws. Isn't that nice? On early cars, they have these, kind of ugly armrests. They really are not the prettiest things. But if your car came with them, we supply these covers sewn. and we'd supply the little covers for the bottom as panels, and then that's how it's supplied. If you want them to turn out like this, you send us those and we cover them. There's of course a labor charge for that, but it's highly recommended. They're a tricky little thing to do. Very similar to the armrest, not the same as Mark II saloon, Mark I saloon, Mark 7, 8 and 9 saloons also. Okay, so we'll look at the center console a little closer. Has the curve in it. We strap it this way so the curve is maintained. It has a new fiberboard moquette at the back, dead straight pleats, the hallmark of BAS here in beautiful Palm Springs, California. It has the brake boot sewn in. Look at that, beautifully top stitched. Work of art. So again, those components are supplied in the kit. You want to put it together like that, then let us know, and we'll, there's again an extra charge. Now we're over to the rear seats. Paula was just working on this. Isn't completely finished here, so I'll show you the back side. But basically, I believe the wood components are supplied in the kit. We need this hardwood at the front leading edge. Okay, so you need to send us that if you're going to have us do the labor here. It hasn't been finished at the bottom yet, but here's the backrest. Again, Baltic birch ply. We only use the real stuff. Expensive but necessary. Has the snaps ready installed, and you can see that one's ready to go. These are handed left and right. They're two different sizes. They look the same, but they're not. Okay, so that's rear seats. You can send us those, and of course you get brand new foams within here. We'll look at the front seats, and then finally we're on the last hurdle here. It's the dash ahead of us there. Molded urethane foam for long life. You can see very comfortable 25-year life foam, more than that actually, like a modern car, urethane. Steel bases on the bottom are often reusable. They were primered like this, and very often the plywood is not reusable, as it was in this case. We've got brand new plywoods. If yours are in good condition, we can reuse them, but if most of the time, 9 times out of 10, the new ones are required. Again, extra charge for that, but well worth it. If you're doing it yourself at home, don't attempt to use old plywoods. It's just not worth it. Okay, if they're delaminated, it's just taking expensive material and you're putting it on the wood that's 60 years old. It just makes no sense. We tack cord the bottom. Beautiful detail, missed by most all. In fact, I'll say all of them. It's the truth. So a nice little finish, just like Jaguar did. Again, we have a flat rate powder coating. This customer painted his and sent them already painted. And if the wood is required to be placed within hardwood or birch ply, we offer that service as well. You can see how beautifully these turned out. It has the moquette on the back with a hidden finish, so you look at it and kind of go, wow, how did they do that? Jaguar finally did that nicely on the 150s, so we take advantage of what they did. We have the rear lip cover panel. This panel was from Jaguar, hit and miss on the fit. On our own show car, the original panel was poorly fit. Just variations, the same with this cover panel on the side. So we charge extra, but we custom make the panels to fit the seats to a higher standard than Jaguar did. And then you can see the results are absolutely perfect. Dead straight pleats, the hallmark of BAS, nice shoulder roll here, everything looking great. I'm sure you'll agree that these look fantastic. Customers are going to be extremely happy with that. The focal point of the car, front seats, center console, rear seats to a certain extent, and the dash. If they're right, everything's right. If they're wrong, you spoiled the whole car as far as I'm concerned. Right, we're almost there, guys. Hang in there. Here we go. Dash. The center dash, steel. We glass beaded and primed it as original, padded, straightened it in this particular case. Wood components all flatted back. A lot of that work you can do yourself if you want to send it prepared. Save a few bucks that way. Beautifully trimmed here as it was originally. These come for optional overdrive and some other things. Cover for the front here. The back cover panel, it needed to be new in this place because the original was distorted. Center piece, as we spoke about before. Look at that work there, isn't that stunning? Beautiful. Love it. And this is also another favorite of mine. Look at that, isn't that pretty? It's top stitched as original with a join at the top that you can barely see as original. Hold it there so we can see. Okay, flatted back and glued with modern glue that'll last way longer than the rubbish the Jaguar used back in the day. And we have the top panels, again, glass beaded, painted, primed. There's if the early panels have the steels, we trim those. In this particular case, it has the chromes, as I mentioned before. Front leading edge, I strongly recommend you buy our molded urethane foam to replace the Dunlop pillow. Well worth every penny, and then you get these perfect results. Difficult to do well, like these are. Dash hardware, we send all the little chrome rings and the vents for here, and then we just send that back to the customer. We don't do anything to it. That's what I call restoration, nothing to do with upholstery, so we don't get involved. We make these glove boxes, flocked glove boxes for the 150s, riveted, made here, in-house, not the flocking, but the rest of it. And again, strongly recommended with in addition to the kit itself as an extra. I think we've covered everything. As you can tell by my enthusiasm for what we do, I'm extremely proud of our offering for the 150s. It truly is exceptional. They're beautiful cars. My favorite is the fixed head. It was designed as a fixed head. Everything else is an afterthought for Jag. They chopped the top off and make it a roadster. They faked the drop head to look like a fixed head. I mean, the fixed head, and the same with E-Type, in my opinion, much better lines than the afterthought of let's make it a convertible. I know the roadster guys disagree, but you know, hey, what do they know? They're driving a 150 roadster, and we're all driving 150 fixed heads. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it, and look forward to hearing from you. Samples available on request. Everything we sell is unconditionally guaranteed to fit and be exactly right as original. Again, no instructions as with our kits or any of our competitors. Nobody gives books to you need a book this thick. So, but technical advice is available at no charge. Ask us your questions, we'll answer them. It's in our best interest to have this interior turn out at its very best. So when the customer gets all these pieces, if he has a question, we're happy to help. We prefer you send us photographs and show us in photographs what the issues are, and then we can help you through it. And then at the shows or around town, the customer can then proudly say this is a kit from BAS and we know it's looking at its very best. Okay, once again, I will say goodbye and hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you XK150, fellow XK150 fixed head owners on the road. Cheers, guys.